So, hello everyone. Um, I'm actually at my desk in the room today, and I'm grateful for that. And emotionally, things are so tough for me. I got myself out of bed, and I'm doing this, and I'm glad. And it's so far, it's making me feel better. It's definitely making me feel better. So, sometimes you have to take care of your emotions because when you get really sick, your emotions can drag you down. And your emotions, I found out, can actually kill you when you get sick enough. I never put, because it's the old saying of, well, you can't die from embarrassment, you know, and no, you can't. And if you can't die from embarrassment, then you can't die from depression. You can't die from a broken heart or loneliness. I mean, if you can die from embarrassment, then you can die from, stress and anxiety and stuff like that. And since no one ever dies from embarrassment, you can't, stress can't kill you and anxiety can't kill you, despite what anyone might say. It just can't. Um, which is a good thing, especially if you're chronically ill. But, things are so stressful. I decided to go ahead and get up and film this, and hopefully I'll be able to post it. And I'm recording this Friday, January. What is this? I think it's the 23rd today. I think it's the 23rd. But and I'm not religious, but I did this just to try to make myself feel better. This is for, I'm going to call it Christian cards. And to me, it's going to be a very tongue-in-cheek kind of thing, you know. But unfortunately, I don't know if anyone else, especially in the light of the way things are and have been, I don't know if anyone is even going to get this, if they're going to get the humor in it. But I am doing it mainly to try to make myself laugh and to try to make myself, okay, feel better, even if it's just a little bit. So I think I'll do this outside part with like a, I don't know if I want to like interchange the colors or what. I should definitely make the cross like a really dark blue. I should definitely make it like a dark blue. I think I'll go with like a dark blue too. There we go. And hopefully, oop, that's the brush end. I'm doing this with, oh, I need to take out my mask. Because I'm so sick that this stuff actually affects me. The smell of these markers don't really smell that bad at all, but it does affect me because I'm sick, So that's interesting how what you breathe in the air can actually affect you, affect your kidneys. Especially if you get, sorry about my phone, especially if you get really sick there. So hopefully you can still hear me. But anyway, yeah. And also, I'm sorry if I go kind of quiet here. I don't know what's on camera. Okay, you can still, yeah. I'll move this stuff up so you can see it. I always like seeing the colors that the artist draws from. It's something else to entertain me, you know, visually at least, when I'm watching other people's YouTube videos. My God. Oh no, I smeared it. The first thing I do is smear it. Oh. Well, that's just going to annoy the crap out of me. Oh. Well, all right. I'm going to try. Oh, darn. Things are falling apart. Oh, no. Okay. I'm going to try this ruler and see if it makes any kind of a difference at all. It's almost like I don't know if the ruler has to have like a really good like connection with the piece of paper to stop it, or if it's pressed down too hard, then it bleeds. Okay, so I guess I just answered that for myself. So the ruler has to be pressed down hard enough to stop the ink from bleeding underneath. And now, because it did bleed underneath, and I'm really not happy about that, I'm gonna have to color in this whole area, which I wasn't wanting to do, but nope. Now I'm gonna have to. And in order to make sure that these like light rays actually show through the coloring, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in this dark blue. So hopefully I can't see what my phone is picking up. Sorry about that. So yeah. Okay. I'm going to try and draw this now. Ah. Oh gosh, darn it. The nice thing about, oh wow, that's actually like stuck to the paper. The nice thing about acrylics, at least these acrylic paint pens, not all of them. Some acrylic paint pens in the past that I've had are strangely translucent. They're really, really toxic and really translucent, and yeah, you can't. They're worse than watercolors when it comes to their translucency, which is very strange, very interesting. Um, every time I draw a line with this, the ruler is actually getting stuck down to the paper. So that's interesting. The other problem is that unless it bleeds really bad, I can't see, oh man, if it's actually like bleeding underneath the ruler, you know? Oh, well, that looks awful. That looks truly bad. Oh, man. Oh, wait. I'm so used to putting the cap on the end. There we go. Well, I think I'm going to leave that out. Okay, now, for better or for worse, maybe I should let that dry. I'm going to let that dry just a little bit. And then I'm going to try coloring in with this or something. I don't know. Darn it. I need to... Oh. I want to use blue and bright blue. And I want to interchange it with... Do I want to use an indigo? I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead. I wish there was like a more of a teal. The most that this has in the line of teal is like what it calls dark blue. Wait, do I want to go bright blue, blue, and then dark blue? I think I will. Bright blue, blue, and then dark blue. I'm definitely going to do bright blue. I haven't figured out any of this. I don't know if I want a gradient or what. I don't know. I'm just going to start out with the bright blue. I mean, it bled so much so far that who knows. I'll tell you, maybe it's my warrior spirit. Maybe it's my Viking spirit. I don't know. It's funny. My dad. Here we go. That's more on camera. My dad is Swede. My dad is half Finn, half Swede, and he told us that, you know, all us kids, that you're a Viking, and it's so hilarious. So I don't know if it's my Viking anger, it's my Swedish anger or whatnot, but maybe it's that. Maybe it's I think it's the Finn in me, because I heard about some Finn that was like during World War II or something. It was really horrible. He was like really done in, and yet he still lived for like, you know, maybe 3 months or something up in a tree. It was really nuts. I'm not even, just the thought of that just really creeps me out, because it's like, oh God, you know, just to think of being him, you know? But I don't know why or how I'm alive, but I'm glad that I have some sort of fighting spirit in me. Hey, that's working out. Almost. A little bit there. That is allowing me to sit up at my desk and do this right now, you know? That is allowing me to, at least at the moment, put my emotions over the needs of my body, you know? Because at some point you get so bummed out that you have to take care of your emotions, you know? And that's really the point that I'm at the moment. It's like, and it becomes a juggling act, you know? Which are you going to take care of, you know? Which is more, you know, that happens more when you're healthier, not when you're busy on your way out, you know, so to speak. But when you're healthier, it ends up becoming one heck of a war between your emotions and what you emotionally and mentally need, and even socially need, versus what your physical body needs. And more often than not, your physical body is, you know, I mean, because we're physical, this whole life is, unfortunately, sadly and terribly, especially when it comes to illness, a case of survival. You know, just it's a real, can you survive? It shouldn't be like that, especially with how advanced we are in our knowledge and our technology, you know, and it just should not be a case of survival for anyone on the globe now, because of our abilities and our knowledge and everything. But sadly and terribly it is, you know. And I would actually argue that literally from the 1900s actually and on, we got to the point in our knowledge and technology that it really shouldn't have been a survival thing at all, you know, from that point forward for anyone because of our knowledge and our tech. I mean, even in our quote archaic days and ways back then, unquote, um, I argue that no one back in those days, even though it was the 1900s, no one around the globe should have been, you know, dying from starvation or lack of clean and fresh drinking water, bare minimum at least. And no one should have been dying really from exposure to extreme cold at least. And definitely by the time antibiotics were invented and by the time air conditioning was invented, by then no one should have been dying from a lot of diseases, and no one should have been passing away from being overheated either, So the fact that we even still have that in our society really kind of blows the mind and upsets me at least. So this blue is a little bit darker. Having this mask on actually helps in the line of me talking because it traps all of the water that you automatically expel from breathing and talking, and that actually helps me a lot. I don't like how this blue isn't that much of a difference. Huh. And with this, I try to wait a few minutes before I move the ruler just to make sure that, because by then it's like the ruler has been stuck down and you can tell that it's kind of dried. Yep. And I've noticed in the past that if you move the ruler too soon, you'll actually get that smearing thing. That is like no difference. Mm. Well, screw it. I'm going with the metallic blue. I didn't want to do that because I really want to photograph this, but I'm going to go with the metallic blue here. I know that would like throw things off. But actually, yeah, that's a lot darker. That helps. I guess this is just not going to be perfect. That's another problem I'm having. I'm a perfectionist, and especially when it comes to something like this, you need it to be perfect, especially in the old days. We were vying to create our art as perfectly as possible, and we're essentially vying to, reaching for, trying to make it so that, in the 1980s and back, and heck, even in the 1990s, arguably, it wasn't until the end of the 90s that things really started changing, that we were essentially trying to create computer art with old school supplies like this, absolutely perfect clean lines and spheres and circles and, shapes like this, without any of that bleeding, without any of that, without anything being off. I mean, like this angle, you can tell it's wonky, it's off, and yeah, it was really, really hard to do that, as you can see. And I don't have any of the old masters' tricks or knowledge or how they did that. I mean, I know that there is stencils. I know that there is misket or frisket. Um, Nowadays, as far as I know, we figured out, you can lay down a layer of, nope, of paint. Well, that's my minute mark. I'll finish this inside ring. And then I think I'll go ahead and try to make a second video here since I do at least want to try to complete this on camera. And I'm not about to stop this now. But at least for this video, I'll complete this inside ring. Oop, there we go. This inside diamond is what it actually is. Oh, man. Well, that bled. I'm just moving it. So, I'm getting streaks all over this. This is awful. I don't know if it's even showing up on camera, how streaky and bad this is. And now the brush end of it is not matching the other end. It's all way more metallic-y than. Well, that's annoying. Well, I'm going to have to accept this despite my perfectionism and despite how I was raised by everyone outside my house and in my house to, be perfect, be perfect. Well, I can't be perfect, and I sure as heck ain't going to be perfect now. So I'm going to have to accept it just the way it is, even though I'm really upset. The reason I'm doing this by hand is because I can't do it by computer. I can't do it on my phone. I wish I could do this on my phone. Heck, I just tried to edit up. I tried to make a plain background. Those like screenshot things that you see on, Blue Sky, Twitter, Instagram, whatnot, where it's just a plain background with words typed on top and it's, posted as a picture. And I tried to do that and I couldn't do that in Pixlr, Pixlr, Pixlr. I couldn't do that. And I tried downloading Adobe Photoshop, for the phone. I couldn't do it in that. I couldn't do it in Google's basically like picture thing, gallery thing or whatever. I don't know what it is. I couldn't do it in any of these things. So yeah. So I don't know. I know that technology has changed. I used to be able to do stuff like that on the phone, but now I can't. And so I'm just glad that I can go back to my old school ways and at least do it with old school shit. And it's not going to look anywhere near as good, but at least it'll get the job done like I'm doing here. As you can see, it looks horrible, but it's getting done. And that's what matters. So I'm going to film one more video here and try to finish this. So thanks for coming with me on this little ride. Bye for this video.